Let me ask you something. What did you do today that made you better than yesterday? And don't give me that, I went to work or I was productive answer. I mean, what did you actually do that moved you forward? That built something? That made future you proud of today you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Here's what most guys do. They wake up, react to whatever life throws at them, stay busy all day, go to bed exhausted, and repeat. They're on this treadmill running hard, but they're not going anywhere, they're just tired. And the worst part is they know it. Deep down, they know they're capable of more. They know that if they keep living like this, they're going to wake up in 5 years, same place, same struggles, same regrets. So here's what I'm offering, a way out, not some magical overnight transformation or work 20 hours a day garbage. Just a simple system to get 1% better every single day. And I know what you're thinking. 1%? That's nothing. But you are wrong, and I will explain why later in the video. But I need to know you're serious. I need 10 minutes from you, not 10 minutes of passive watching while you're doing 3 other things. 10 minutes of actual focus, and if you can't do that, if that's too much to ask, then close this video right now and go back to scrolling. You are still here. Perfect. It means you are serious. Now let me show you Project 365, the system that'll make you unrecognizable by this time next year. Let's get into it. Part 1, the compound effect. All right, first thing you need to understand, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Everyone's got goals. I want to lose 30 pounds. I want to build a business. I want to be more confident. Cool, so does everyone else. Goals are just dreams with deadlines. They don't mean anything without a system. Here's what actually happens. You set a big goal, you get excited for 3 days, you make some changes, you don't see immediate results, you quit. Sounds familiar, right? That's because you're focused on the outcome instead of the process. You're trying to jump from 0 to 100 overnight. And when you don't get there instantly, you assume it's not working. But that's not how real change happens. Real change happens in the margins, in the tiny, boring daily actions that compound over time. Let's say you want to read more. Most people go big and say, I'll read 50 books this year. They buy a bunch of books, read for a few hours on day 1, get tired, and then don't read again for weeks. A better way is saying, I'll read 10 pages every night before bed. See the difference? One is chasing a big result, the other is just building a habit. And the funny part is the second way actually works. 10 pages a day adds up fast over a year, and with a little extra reading on weekends, you can easily reach that big goal. Let me tell you something that I read in Atomic Habits. James Clear explains it with a simple formula. If you improve just 1% every day and you multiply that over 365 days, you end up around 37 times better than where you started. On the other side, getting 1% worse each day slowly takes you down. Same small change, completely different outcome. So instead of asking how to change your life overnight, ask yourself what small improvement you can make today that you can repeat tomorrow. Part 2, identity-based habits. Second thing, and this is where most people screw up, they focus on what they want to have instead of who they want to become. You want to lose weight? You're focused on the number on the scale. You want to make money? You're focused on the dollar amount. You want to get strong? You're focused on how much you can bench. But that's backwards. Because when your results change but your identity doesn't, you always snap back to who you believe you are. Let me explain. You go on a diet, you lose 20 pounds, you hit your goal. But you still see yourself as someone who's overweight, someone who struggles with food. So eventually you slide back, you regain the weight because you never changed who you are, you just temporarily changed what you did. Strong men understand this. They don't focus on outcomes, they focus on identity. They ask, who do I need to become to get the results I want? You want to lose weight? Don't focus on losing weight. Become the type of person who doesn't miss workouts. Become the type of person who eats clean. That's your identity now. You want to build a business? Don't focus on making your first sale. Become the type of person who shows up and does the work every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Let me give you a simple example. 2 people trying to quit smoking. Someone offers them a cigarette. First person says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. Second person says, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. Same action, completely different identity. The first person still sees themselves as a smoker who's temporarily abstaining. The second person has shifted their identity. They're not a smoker anymore, period. every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. So right now, write this down. Who do I want to become? Not what do I want to have. Who do I want to be? That's your North Star for the next 365 days. Part 3. The 4 laws. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. All right, now here's the actual system. This is how you engineer your life so that getting better becomes automatic. There are 4 laws, and if you follow them, you'll build habits that actually stick. Law 1, make it obvious. You can't change a habit you don't see. Most guys go through their day on autopilot, scrolling their phone, eating junk, skipping workouts, and they don't even realize they're doing it. The first step is to make your good habits impossible to ignore and your bad habits invisible. Let me give you an example. You want to drink more water. Don't just say, I should drink more water. Fill up a giant water bottle every morning and put it right on your desk where you can't miss it. That's making it obvious. Environment design is everything. Your habits are shaped by the spaces you spend time in. Law 2, make it attractive. This one's simple. You're more likely to do things that feel good. So bundle your habits with things you enjoy. You hate going to the gym, but you love watching your favorite show. Only watch that show while you're on the treadmill. Now the gym becomes the place where you get to watch your show. You need to do boring work, but you love good coffee. Only drink your fancy coffee while you're working on that project. Now the work becomes the gateway to something you enjoy. This is called temptation bundling. You link something you need to do with something you want to do. And suddenly, your brain starts associating the hard thing with pleasure instead of pain. Law 3, make it easy. Here's where most people mess up. They try to build 10 new habits at once, each one requiring massive effort, and they wonder why they quit after a week. Stop trying to be heroic. Start by being consistent. You want to start meditating? Don't aim for 30 minutes a day. Start with 2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes, so easy you can't say no. So easy it feels almost stupid. Because the goal isn't to meditate for 2 minutes. The goal is to become the type of person who meditates every day. Once that identity is locked in, once you've got a 30-day streak of 2-minute meditations, scaling up to 10 minutes or 20 minutes becomes natural. This is called the 2-minute rule. Any new habit should take less than 2 minutes to start. Want to read before bed? Just read 1 page. Want to journal every morning? Write 1 sentence. Want to work out daily? Do 1 push-up. It sounds too small, and yeah, on its own it won't change much, but that's not the point. The point is showing up every day. Once you're consistent, results follow. Focus on showing up first. You can always increase the effort later. Law 4, make it satisfying. The final law, we repeat behaviors that feel rewarding. If something feels good, you'll do it again. If it feels bad, you won't. The problem with most good habits is that the reward is delayed. You work out today, you don't see results for months. You study today, you don't see the grade until the exam. So you need to create immediate rewards. And the simplest one is to track it. Get a calendar. Every day you do your habit, put an X on that day. After a few days, you'll have a chain. Your only job is to not break the chain. I've seen guys maintain habits for years just because they didn't want to break their streak. That's the power of making it satisfying. Part 4, the actual implementation. All right, now let me give you the exact blueprint, Project 365. Here's how you're actually going to get 1% better every single day for the next year. First, pick 3 habits, not 10, just 3. These should be habits that make everything else easier. For a lot of people, it's things like moving your body, reading a bit, or working on your main goal every day. Yours will depend on what you're aiming for, but once you pick them, treat them as non-negotiable. Next, make them very small. Think 2-minute rule. You're not promising an intense workout, just putting on your workout clothes. You're not reading a whole book, just a few pages. You're not building your entire business, just doing 1 hour of focused work. Then stack your habits, attach new habits to things you already do. For example, after your morning coffee, write a few things you're grateful for. Using existing routines as triggers makes habits easier to remember and stick to. After that, track it every day. Just mark whether you showed up for your 3 habits or not. And the most important rule, never miss twice. Missing 1 day happens, that's life. But missing 2 days in a row is how habits fade. Now, I need to warn you about something. Because if I don't, you're going to hit this wall and think the system isn't working. There's something called the Plateau of Latent Potential. This is why most people quit right before things actually change. You stick to your habits for weeks and it feels like nothing's happening. You start thinking, this isn't working, and you give up. But here's the truth. Change is happening quietly, under the surface, like an ice cube slowly warming. It won't melt until suddenly it does. Your small habits are stacking up, building momentum. Don't quit in the valley. Keep showing up. You're closer to a breakthrough than you think. So here's my challenge to you. Start today, not Monday, not next month, not when you feel ready, today.